He's been such a non-traditional president of the United States with all the tweeting and some of the controversies that we've seen over the past year. But last night looked very much like a traditional State of the Union that we have seen other presidents deliver. The president laid out some of his policy agenda for 2018. He also hit some emotional high notes there, inviting a police officer and his wife who had adopted a heroin-addicted baby. That was an emotional moment. Also, a North Korean defector raising his crutches over his hands in triumph in the hall last night, another emotional moment. And in terms of his policy agenda, the president put a new price tag on his infrastructure proposal, saying he wants $1.5 trillion, which is higher than the $1 trillion that the White House had been talking about into last year. Here's what the president said last night.
Together, we can reclaim our great building heritage. We will build gleaming new roads, bridges, highways, railways, and waterways all across our land. And we will do it with American heart, American hands, and American grit.
So Joe was talking about some of the moments where Democrats were sort of scowling in their seats, not standing, not applauding for some of the applause lines that the Republicans were jumping to their feet to cheer. One of the most tense moments was around immigration. The president said, though, that he's open to a deal on DACA. Here's how he put it.
Tonight, I am extending an open hand to work with members of both parties, Democrats and Republicans, to protect our citizens of every background, color, religion, and creed. My duty, and the sacred duty of every elected official in this chamber, is to defend Americans, to protect their safety, their families, their communities, and their right to the American dream. Because Americans are dreamers too.
So the president there not talking about one of the controversies that's been consuming official Washington this week. That is the Russia investigation. No mention of that from the president of the United States during his State of the Union, looking ahead to what he sees as the two big legislative accomplishments of 2018, immigration and infrastructure. For the Democrats, they chose Congressman Joe Kennedy III to deliver their response, and he set a very different tone. Here's what he said.
Many have spent the last year anxious, angry, afraid. We all feel the fractured fault lines across our country. We hear the voices of Americans who are forgotten and feel forsaken.
So Joe Kennedy there saying that Americans feel forsaken. They've been angry and afraid over the past year. The president striking what the White House said was a much more unified tone in his delivery of the State of the Union. We'll see whether the president can move forward on immigration and infrastructure. Both of them face challenges. Immigration, the challenge is going to be the Democrats, whether or not there's any deal there that the president can sell to his base and Democrats at the same time. On infrastructure, the challenge will be conservative Republicans who don't want to spend a lot of government money on a large, big-ticket government item like infrastructure. They'd like to see more state and local spending and more private sector spending. The president says he's going to incentivize that, but can he get those conservative Republicans to sign off on some major government spending? That'll be the big question going into the year.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.